There's an interesting report that came out yesterday, Crane Chicago Business, about a second team in town potentially looking at moving stadiums, looking for a new stadium. That is the Chicago White Sox. They have 6 years left on their lease, a guaranteed rate field. And look, there's a couple things here. One, I've talked about this. I don't know about specifically on this show because this is a Bears show, but certainly in the past on radio or wherever I have. But I think two of my hottest Chicago sports takes, one being probably my hottest that I've had for years, is that I am convinced that sometime in my lifetime, the Chicago White Sox are going to be in a different city altogether. And when I bring that up, people are like, why? It's like, look at ownership. Look at how they are the second team in town. Look at how their fan base is, I don't know, seems like dwindling. Myself included to some extent with the way things have gone the last few years. Wouldn't shock me at all if they are, I don't think it's the most likely outcome, but I think that if you look at teams that have relocated, whether it's football, whether like the Rams, whether it's the A's moving to Vegas, all these markets around baseball, there's other markets that want teams, and you start identifying which ones have ownership problems, which ones struggle to draw, how married they are to their stadium, their current stadium situation, because stadiums always bring deadlines. The White Sox, I think, are a candidate to move eventually. So how do you prevent that from happening? You got to come up with a stadium solution. And if you're 6 years away, you got to start getting on this stuff now, which is why this report did not shock me. And what the hell could their solution be? I don't know, but one of my other hottest sports takes, and I know Southsiders are not going to like this, and I'm not even saying I like it, because I do like the White Sox being on the South Side. But from a business standpoint, I think that there is untapped potential for them moving to the suburbs and hitting a whole market of fans that find it to be a pain in the ass to get in the city to go see the Cubs, to go see the certainly White Sox fans. You make it more accessible. And you might even convert some fans that are just sort of on the fence that don't want to go into the city to go to Wrigley.
Is there a barf bag anywhere around here?
I'll barf in it with you.
Thank you. Just first of all, I'll grant you that most of what you're saying makes some level,
as usual with the stadium,
perhaps high level of
practicality,
sense.
And then there's
right.
I don't want the White Sox to leave the city.
Right.
That's not what I want.
So can I'm
talking about from a business standpoint.
Can I just fix this for everybody right now?
Go. Yes.
All right. Here we go. They never built Guaranteed Rate Field, which was once Comiskey Park 2 and was once the Cell, the whole thing. They never built it right.
Nope.
The whole thing was done wrong. So finances be damned. Just get rid of it. Knock it to the ground. Done and done. And they never did Soldier Field right. As much as I want to fix that, that doesn't seem possible. The White Sox should never leave the South Side, as you're talking about. Why can't we just build the most amazing complex for the two of them right there? Bang, bang. Right where they are. And I want to do my own experiment. Let's put the White Sox, while that's going on, in Wrigley Field for however many years it takes, and let's see who draws more. Sox at Wrigley, Cubs at Wrigley. Figure out the finances. I'm sure Tom Ricketts would love to make some extra money. He's putting every concert in the world over there. So let's go.
Now, I definitely need a barf bag. The White Sox at Wrigley.
I think it'd be amazing. Let's go.
So
tell me that
Sox
Sox fans who complain about Wrigley all day, you think they wouldn't love to go to Wrigley Field for a year and just, oh, God, this is so much better. Thank you.
No, they would definitely not want to go to Wrigley.
You know what?
I don't buy it.
Okay. There's a comp for what you just brought up with another team in the same town renting from a different team that owns the stadium. And that is the Los Angeles Chargers playing at SoFi Stadium. and nobody goes to those games. When the Bears play the Chargers this year, there'll be like 80% Bears fans at that game. So
That's completely different.
it's not completely different, which is why if I have to pick an NFL franchise that could move again, it's the Chargers. I don't think that's viable there. And it's the same thing with the White Sox.
You're telling – hold on a second. As a Sox fan,
Yes.
St. Ignatius grew up going to the old park with your dad, pictures of 4-year-old Adam Hoge.
8-day-old Adam Hoge.
8-day-old. You're telling me
Yeah.
that if I told you you're going to get some sweet stadium built right there and that in order to do it, you're going to have to go watch the White Sox at Wrigley for 2 seasons.
Oh, I thought you were saying permanently. I
No.
apologize.
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
No. I'm saying that they play there for 2 years.
And every fan of both fan bases would say, hell no.
You're so wrong.
You
Why
are
can't
so
they build it the
wrong.
same way they did before? where
Good
they just build it next
Lord.
to it? Why did they have to go play at Wrigley for 2 years?
Because it's going to take a time to. You don't just build a stadium in 5 seconds.
When they built the new stadium, they built it next to Old Comiskey.
You want to drop because
In the parking lot.
because we're going to build a whole complex.
Well, that's what I'm getting at here. If you're Kevin Warren
Yeah.
and you're looking for help, whether it's location, whether it's just getting another team involved to help get the thing done, I have always said that one of the solutions here might be that the White Sox and Bears go in on a stadium together.
That's what I'm doing on the South Side. Let's go.
Now,
Everybody stays in the city. Everyone's happy. Let's go.
the problem is the Bears, and here's where I've changed this, because, one, practically, football, baseball being played in the same, we're going away from that. Doesn't work. Metrodome was dumb. It was awkward for baseball games.
Yeah.
Also, Bears don't want to have a retractable roof. Doesn't make sense.
Well, they'd be happy. They'd be happy to deal with some extra financing.
Well, see, that's another thing. So maybe for those that do want the retractable roof, it 100% agree. Not worth the money to have a retractable roof at a football stadium where it's open maybe 3 days a year. But if you have a baseball team playing there at the same time where it's open most of the summer, then maybe that makes sense. However, logistically, unless we're coming up with new technology, which is certainly possible, to make the seats all fit where it's not awkward and taking away from both experiences.
just get AI involved in this. They could figure out a stadium that humans couldn't figure out.
Or if you have enough land, just build 2 stadiums next to each other. That's how it is in Kansas City. That's how it is in Philadelphia.
That's the KC model. We're going to just build 2 stadiums. Let's go.
And that's fine with me. And heck, I don't know enough about the Arlington Heights stuff, but maybe they're worried about all these extra people living there and how it's going to affect the school districts. Well, instead of building up all the development, build a second stadium.